Hello students, welcome to today's video lesson. Today we shall be discussing This is Jody's Fawn. This chapter is taken from the novel The Yearling by Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings. It is a story of guilt and kindness that describes the bond between a young boy and his pet fawn or baby deer. Before we begin discussing the story, let us learn a little about our writer. Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings was an American author born in Washington, D.C. She lived in Florida and wrote novels with rural themes and settings. Her novel, The Yearling, won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1939. Some of her short stories include Jacob's Ladder, Mountain Rain, Cock's Must Crow, etc. Her novels and story collections include Cross Creek, The Friendship, Golden Apples, and The Secret River. Let us now begin with the story. Section 1 of the story introduces us to the main character, Jody, who is observed in the thoughts of holding a fawn in his arms. Next, we see a dialogue between Jody and his father Penny, who seems to be recovering from an illness and is on bed rest. Soon, we come to know that Jody's quick thinking abilities and his calm nature has saved his father, who recently had a close brush with death. Jody asks his father, Penny, if he remembers the doe and the fawn. Penny's reply reveals that he is thankful to the doe for saving his life. They have had to kill the doe so that its heart and liver could reverse the effects of a poisonous snake bite that Jody's father had suffered from a rattlesnake. The fawn is therefore orphaned, as its mother has been killed. Thoughtfully and cleverly, Jody suggests to his father that they need to ensure that the fawn does not starve to death. After all, its mother's life had to be sacrificed to cure Penny. Penny acknowledges his son's kindness and intelligence and agrees to take in the orphaned animal. He now asks his mother for permission to adopt the fawn. He convinces his mother by saying that it would be ungrateful to let it starve since they had killed its mother. Doc Wilson supports Jody's decision, and another man, Millville, volunteers to help him find the fawn. He also gives him a ride back home. Jody's mother, Mrs. Baxter, worries that they have nothing to feed the fawn. She gives away Jody's share of milk to the fawn. We can guess from her concern that Jody comes from a poor family. Jody rides with Millville to look for the baby deer. We learn that Jody has learned to identify the gender of fawns from his father. We now come to section 2 of this story. It starts with Jody moving deeper into the woods, leaving Millville behind. His excuse is that the scrub was too thick for a horse. Inwardly, Jody wants to meet the fawn separately in whatever condition he finds it, alive or dead. Soon he finds a flock of buzzards feasting on the carcass of the dead doe. Buzzards are flesh-eating birds. Jody finds the pug marks of a big cat on the sand beside the doe. He has left the doe untouched because tigers or leopards only eat freshly killed prey. The last part, section 3, starts with Jody finding and meeting the fawn. The animal initially does not stir at his voice, but it does not resist Jody's touch, nor does it protest when he carries it in his arms. Jody handles the fawn tenderly and feels its soft skin and its sweet smell. He is surprised at how long the fawn's legs are. He has to lift its body high under his arm to prevent its legs from getting caught in the scrubs. When Jody puts the fawn down on the ground for a while to catch his breath, it starts to follow him. Jody recalls his father once saying that a fawn will follow the person who has carried it. Jody finally reaches home and goes up to his father to show him the fawn. He is pleased that Jody has found the fawn. The story ends with Jody feeding the fawn his own share of milk. He pours the milk into a gourd, but the fawn is clueless about how to drink it. Jody dips his finger in the milk and puts them in the fawn's mouth. Once it tastes the milk, it sucks hungrily and wants more. As long as Jody keeps his fingers below the level of the milk, the fawn continues to drink and it soon finishes the milk. Jody had no option but to kill the fawn's mother to save his father's life. The doe's liver and heart were crucial to kill the effects of the snake's poison. Immediately after, Jody was filled with pity for the fawn and considered it his responsibility to care for it. We learn the good qualities of kindness and compassion from Jody's character. With that, we come to the end of this heartwarming story of a kind young boy who saves a fawn. Our lesson on This is Jody's Fawn ends here. See you next in our recap and question answer videos. Till then, goodbye.